Yeah, welcome back to my channel. This is your boy and it's a good day. I want us to talk about now about infertility in marriages or in a relationship, rather, or in a serious relationship in that regard. Is it a deal breaker? You know, is it a deal breaker? Because majority of people get into marriage with intentions of expanding the family. Abanye, they as inkulu. They had to make sure ukuthi they they extend the family, they expand the family clan name, whatever the case might be. So my question is, or the question rather is infertility an issue in a relationship or in marriages? Is it a deal breaker? Because it's a common thing that you experience within society. It's something that's common. As much as it's not much, but it's there. Could it be an issue if inkulu can't have kids? You know, is it an issue if your wife can't have kids? If you're a man but you can't have kids, does it make you less of a man? If you are a woman, does it make you less of a woman? So it's a concerning type of issue that's there, but it's never, faced head on and discuss it within family. And hey, there's this issue A, B, C, D, and E. You know, one, it reduces the amount of confidence within women. They feel like they are not women enough when they can't conceive. It's a common thing that we experience within society. And they're being called names. They can't have kids. It's a common thing that we experience within society. But is it discussed? No. But people gossip around it. But you can't have kids. All these meaning, all these hateful words that they use. So our societies are facing such problems. It's a common thing that we experience within society. So my question is, if a wife can't conceive, does that mean that marriage is over? Does that mean that the family no longer accepts my wife as my wife or a wife of my family? I done a module called sociology of or intro to sociology of perspective and whatnot. It deals with family planning and family conflicts. It deals with it. So it talks about exactly what I'm talking about. So does this actually does these issues break marriage? It's a common thing that we experience within society. Is it a deal breaker? Could it be that you took her because you want to make kids with her? Or you took her because you love her? In my opinion, if you do love her, then you love her, regardless whether she does or he does not have kids. We live in the 21st century. Adoption is a common thing that we experience, in my opinion on this issue. Adoption is something that's very common within this century, you know. So we can't say umuntu lidlolo okanye akakwazi banabantwana, or she's not woman enough, or he's not man enough due to the fact that they can't conceive. You know, there are numerous reasons for that to happen. You know, there are many. There's what you call ilendo avitism. Avitism means that is the characteristics ebezikade zingaveli from generation to generation izovela kwisisukulu sesisukulu sesisukulu. That's avitism ihamba kwi-blood stream or kwi-chromosome rather, you put it in that way. Kuthiwa hayi ngumntana kusekhaya lo because akananzala, kanti it's avitism. Wayenomntana omnye ukhoko akakwazi uconceive abanye, you know, lowana wanza loo nto, then la characteristics kakhokho izovela to this offspring. So we need to understand and acknowledge and educate abantu as to how is it happening, enziwa yintoni, so that the society izosusa laa ngqondo yokuthi lidlolo akazali ii-tubes, you know, zininzi mani izinto. But we need to make sure that people within society are educated about infertility. It's not the end of the world. But did you take umfazi ngokumenza ngokwenza ukuthi kubekho abantwana, or did you take umfazi due to the fact that you love them as much as the family has to expand, the clan has to expand? But how do we deal with it now when we have these issues? Because it does surface. How do we deal with it without making a man feel less of a man, without making a woman feel less of a woman? It's a common thing that we experience within society. You know? So I think we should make sure that we respect people regardless whether they can conceive or not, because self-esteem yomntu. Let me tell you about self-esteem real quick. Self-esteem can regard to detrimental behavior, a low self-esteem, so that to feel as if you are part of a certain something, to feel part of manhood within society. When you love self-esteem, better even unkosikazi wakho, so that you'd feel more of a man. Because the society now sees you as not a man. Then you want to show your wife that even though you can't conceive, but you are still a man. You are trying to convince yourself, you know? So it's a common thing that we experience within society. So we are trying to teach people as to understand, even though the case might be ungabi nabantwana, it's not the end of the world. That's point number one. Point number two, people lack knowledge as to that these issues do happen naturally, you know. So we need to understand anything that's happening, we need to respect it if this does not concern anyone. Do you get what I'm saying? So these are issues as it means. Uve kuthiwa umtshato uphelile because akaconceive. Majority of the time kubhlenywa abantu umfazi. Akananzala lana. Akananzala. Due to the fact that they did not check whether the man does have inzala or not. In some cases, unkosikazi, but divorce, she gets married to other families, she conceives. So it's a matter of education and understanding and communication amongst families to understand the impact it has on one, you know. So that pressure of having kids, that pressure of having, you know, unyana, because majority of men would even beat up their wives, but only they don't understand that indoda isuke emfaneni, umfana usuke endodeni, produces our females. Those are zinto ezifuneka betishwe ngazo, especially in rural areas, because they lack knowledge, you know. So these are issues that are happening. So how do we find this? People need to be educated. There should be campaigns teaching people that kune issue ezinje. So infertility Is it a deal break? Because abantu bayadivorce due to infertility. Aphinde aze komnye, still there's no product, there's no reproduction. Njalo njalo. It's a continuous thing. So it's a common thing that we experience in society. We are to respect people for who they are and what they do, regardless of whether they do have kids or not. Respect each and every individual equally. Because self-esteem yomuntu can lead to dangerous things because they are trying to prove a point. Ove kuthuna amantombi ayi-8 umuntu echadile, right? Akafani bantwana enkosikazi uhambe ekhangela uba uzomfumana phi. That's detrimental to society. So zininzi ezi issues that are concerning within society and people are not engaging in it. Kuncokolwe ishukuxwe, abantu babe nolwazi olubhetele nomntu lo otshatele kuloo mzi okanye loo nkosikazi angazuziva less of a woman xa ehamba nabanye abatshakazi okanye abanye oomama due to the fact that akaconceive. It should be treated as if ngumuntu one-fever. There's nothing wow. Oh, une-fever, okay, sure. It should be like that. Oh, ayilizolo akanabantwana. You know, it's a common thing that's happening and people are not feeling, confident. Uve kuthiwa unkosikazi uyatshita naye uyakhangela abantwana nomfumana komnye. Omnye uve kuthiwa utshita kwalapha efemelini so that azofumana umntana walapha. It's a common thing that we experience within society. So that pressure leads to izinto that are detrimental to society. So I think umuntu makahoyane neendaba zakhe within society. Umuntu xa ithe wenza loo nto akazuva kuthiwa A, B, C, D and E ngaye. Because when you talk about people, they're going to talk about you. It's that cycle of things, So it's a matter of respecting people. It's a matter of minding your own business. It's a matter of respecting people. It's a matter of respecting people's boundaries. So le nto into eqhelekileyo that we experience within society. Yeah, man, I don't want to belong, but could infertility be a deal breaker in marriage or in a serious relationship? Could it be? It's a very concerning type of thing. The infertility. Manje kuthiwa unomntana eRhawutini, unomntana eKapa, but he does not have kids nonkosikazi wakhe. Unkosikazi wakhe thereafter adivorce afumane abantwana kuloo mntu aphinde watshata naye. So it's a matter of educating people. Ukuthi you can have kids, but as you grow old, for an example, sperm count is low. As you grow old, the level of testosterone, it decreases, meaning the low sperm count will also decrease, So ungaba nabantwana eKapa ubuye uzozeka emakhaya, but the level of testosterone, it decreases. The amount of spermatozoa, the production of spermatogenesis, it's less likely to happen. It does happen, but it's not as high as it used to be. Kuve kuthiwa umuntu low sperm count. Abanye bazala benayo, abanye as they grow older. So these teachings as abantu funeka bas understand within relationship, within, marriages. Hence, when people are about to get married, there's what we call premarital counseling. It's mandatory. It should be, though. It should be mandatory so that abantu need to understand what to expect within marriages. They need to understand as to, there's a possibility that unkosikazi wami angangabi nabantwana. There's a possibility that myena angangabi nabantwana. How do we deal with that? How do we move forward from that? I've done, exactly as I've said already, I've done family conflict as well as family planning in my first year, I think. So intro to perspective and whatnot. There are many issues that we are dealt with, but this is a very common one that's lessly dealt with or talked about within society. Yeah, well, so we need to understand because there are many issues concerning to imitshato iqhawuke kuthi akananzala lidlwa lo akananzala athathe wesibini akazali athathe wesithathu akazali and they remarry abasisi they get abantwana, you know, no sisi they kanti they don't have kids baphinde badithe kwalapha efemelini so that they would have a dondi clan for an example. You know, babe kuthiwa hayi ngabantwana bakanozulu ufana nodadobawo ufana nobani only to find out ukuthi igazi and what you call it, what is it, ukufanisana, remember, whatever the case might be, okwakufana. So it's a common thing that we experience within society. So let's respect people. Let's respect people. But the question remains, is it a deal breaker? Infertility in marriage? Does it need logical thinkers or intellectuals or diplomats to understand it? Or should we teach more people so that they have an idea as to what could be happening? Each and everything that I'm here saying here is of my own opinion, guys. If you disagree with me, it's okay. You know, it's my opinion on the issue. You know, in my issue or in my view, let me put it this way: if I would get married, right, my wife does not have kids. I don't think on my case, it's not a deal breaker because we are in the 21st century. Could even think of adoption and all that. In my case, you know, we would differ as we've had. You would say, I can't, I'm not what. It's okay. But should you disrespect that person in that regard to ambuthisa ngayo ekuhlaleni ukuthi u-infertile? Does it have to reach that level? It's very concerning. It's very concerning. So yeah, man, this is your boy ZQD. Make sure that you do like, comment, and subscribe. I have been trying by all means to post videos more frequently, and I will do so. So yeah, man, let's engage in this societal issue so that abantu will be equipped and be less judgmental and have more understanding with issues ezijongene nasekuhlaleni. And remember this, if you can't relate on something, I always say this to my mates, if you can't relate to something, have a less say. Keep quiet or ask questions to get clarity rather than jumping to conclusions so that you'd be seen as if, you know, you are woke, you know, you are that type of person who understand A, B, C, D, and E. If you lack knowledge, talk less. It's true when they say, like, knowledge is too dangerous. In this case, it's very detrimental to society because umuntu uzoba ne-low self-esteem azama uprove society ukuthi I am, of which that's not good to i-well-being yakhe yena self. Nendoda xa kambe ixelele ekuhlaleni uba awuyondoda wena, awunanzala wena, izohafika endlini isibonakalisa ubudoda bayo ngokuthini, ngoku-abuse unkosikazi wayo emotionally. I'm getting okwenye ke ngoku, emotionally, physically, to make sure ukuthi, you know, I am a man. Uzama naye uzenza azive as if he's a man, you know. Uzama uvala la void ahambe ixelela by society. Hence, society needs to be educated and understand ukuthi how society actually works in order to live in harmony. Yeah, so it's a common thing that we experience within society. So ifike ngoku azobetha unkosikazi wakhe gqu because ufuna uziva ngathi yindoda, because ufuna la validation yokuba ndiyindoda, because the society now iyamxelela uba awuyondoda wena. So ihamba nalaa nto ne-self-confidence in the long run and understanding your lane and understanding your purpose. It goes a long way. Does it make sense? So abantu xa bethetha ngolo hlobo ke funeka nawe uziqaphele, uzazi uba my purpose, my role, my goal is A, B, C, D, and E, you know. Ezinye izinto azifuna as much as, you know, they can hurt you, you know, but azifuna uhoywa. Azifuna uhoywa. Because there are issues ezininzi kwi-society ezingahoywanga, but ke ngoku kuthiwa kananzala. So ivalideyitha ke ngoku, ufuna laa validation yoba naye yindoda, abethe abantu. Nosisi kuthiwa ingomfazi lo akanabantwana, aze apha efemelini akhangele ubhuti omncinci, usisana, babane to have umntana. Kuthiwa ufana notata omncinci umninawo womyeni wakhe because ufuna kuthiwa uyazala. So these are concerning issues ezivelayo kwi-society. If bebekuthiwa we respect people, zonke ezi validations bekungazude zenzeke, because when you have low self-esteem, ufuna uzivalidata, it could lead to a detrimental manner. Ungahamba ubetha abantu to validate yourself. Ungahamba utshintsha abayeni or boyfriends or abantu apha ekuhlaleni kuthiwa lamtshakazi, you know, because ufuna laa validation. So the question is infidelity a deal breaker in marriages or in relationship, or in relationships rather? Could it be? It's a concerning type of topic, but yeah, man, I wanted to engage in it. So yeah, man, this is your boy, and it's that cute thing. Nozulu lo mfana umlo kuyothekela umpangazitha. Umlamba uwelo lolo zinkonjane zodwa zona zinamaphiko. Ndingumnguni, ndilihlobo elihle, ndingumlotywa. Low, guys. Yeah, man. Tell a friend of a friend to subscribe. You know, we're gonna engage more. I no longer care about views. I used to worry about views, and yeah, are they seeing it? I don't care much about that, you know. But the message should be passed. A person who has to hear it will hear it, you know. I'm just passing it. Knowledge that we need to understand about society as a whole. But society works like this in order to live in harmony. Yeah, man. See you in the next video. Peace.